Hi Math 1 students, we're going to finish up section 7.4 with these last three pages, 37, 38, and 39. They're triangle congruence puzzles. I'm going to make sure you understand how to do each of these puzzles. When you are finished working them, they all have some type of puzzle answer at the bottom. In Canvas there is an assignment, really it's like a quiz, where you just will be entering in your answer for each of these three puzzle pages. So, swimming through triangles, the first one, this is the simplest page. Basically, we're looking at all these pairs of triangles. You want to figure out whether these triangles are congruent by side, 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 angle, side, or angle, side, angle theorems. So you would just circle the theorem that you think is correct. So what you need to do is pay attention to the markings that are on each set of triangles. And you're going to read the markings going around the triangle. So find matching markings and kind of read them around. For example, this would be like a side matches. You go around the triangle, an angle, keep going around, and a side. So these two triangles are congruent by side, angle, side theorem. Okay, so the first answer for number 1 is T. And the way the puzzle works, we go down to here, number 1, we'll put a T. Actually, I would save the puzzle answer until after all of these are done. Makes it more interesting. Okay, so make sure when you're going around the picture, you're just, start in one location and then just move around without skipping any unmarked angles or sides consecutively. For example, if you're doing number 5, let's take a look at that one. See if you understand what I mean here. On that one, we'll start at the first tick mark, side, and moving around the triangle, we have the very next angle, and then the very next side is marked. So this would be side, angle, side. What you don't want to do is start, say, in the middle of these, and to start here and go, okay, that's an angle and a side, and I go all the way around and another side. That's not the direction you want to go. Make sure, if you have three things grouped together, just start at the end and move around. So you could start on this side too. Side, angle, side. Everything's covered. Okay? Alright, so that's the first one. You can proceed through that one. On page 38, another puzzle in a very similar way. Why did Mrs. Washington go into George's bedroom early in the morning? In each case, there's 8 problems here. We have 8 sets of congruent triangles. Here, 8 problems. And you have to assume that you know what's marked as congruent. And then you figure out what triangle theorem it is. So some of these are pretty straightforward. It's good to get a lot of practice with these. And if you get a lot of practice, you'll get to be pretty quick at it. There are a couple of special ones in here. Take a look at number 6. This one is kind of new. These two triangles actually touch each other. They have a shared side, this GI. So if you think about it, if you consider the triangle on the left, triangle FIG, and then you consider the triangle on the right, triangle HIG, they have this side in common. So this side IG is part of the left-hand triangle, and it's part of the right-hand triangle, and obviously it's the same exact segment in both triangles. Since it's the same segment in both triangles, the triangle FIG side IG has to be congruent to triangle HIG side IG. So IG is congruent to itself, is how we talk about this. And how I like to mark it is that segment IG is congruent to segment IG. I like to put an X in there. So basically that gives me a third side that is congruent. What do I know is congruent? I'm going to walk around the triangle. Side, side, side. Or you can start in the center. Side, side, side. So this is congruent by side, side, side. Here's how the puzzle works. Anytime you see a number 6, you're going to put in an N. And so N goes here. Looks like there's only one 6. Some of the other ones have repeats, like there's several number 7s and so forth. Okay? When you get to that final answer, that's what you'll put in. That answer is what you'll submit on the quiz. The next one, page 39. It's kicked up a little bit of a notch. Again, congruent triangles, these three types of theorems we're going to use. Here's a review of those three theorems that might help you. There are a couple of new things in this worksheet I want to make sure you know. Actually, one thing that's new we actually just did, and that is with these shared sides. So again, on number 4, number 5, you can see that they have a shared side. I would mark those as congruent to themselves, and then you can see side, side, side. Hopefully you can see that. Side, side, side. So these two triangles are congruent by side, side, side. I'm just going to jot it down there. The way the puzzle works is you're supposed to, for each triangle pair, you're supposed to find out which method can prove the triangles are congruent, and sometimes there's more than one. Shade in the matching column letters and copy them into the blanks to reveal a message. So on number 5, it's going to be side, side, side. We don't want to shade it too heavy because we need that letter. So the letter E is going to go in the puzzle. We don't know where it goes yet. You have to finish all of these and then read all the shaded parts to see what goes in here. Maybe better than shading would be just to circle the letters instead of shading them. You may not be able to see them after you had them shaded. We could also see if any of the other ones work for this. If we just look at number 5, side, angle, side. No, we don't have any angles marked as congruent. Angle, side, angle. No, again, we don't have any angles marked as congruent. So this would be just side, side, side. The other new theorem here, it's actually noted right here in this box. Vertical angles are congruent. Look at number 3 here. You got a pair of triangles that are kind of connected and even formed by these two sides. These angles right here that are formed by the intersection of those two sides are actually congruent to each other. So I'm going to mark them both with an arc. Those are called vertical angles, and vertical angles are congruent. So anytime you have an intersection of lines that creates two sides of two congruent triangles, those angles are congruent. So we can use that as an angle pair that works. So in this case, we have the right angles are congruent, this single tick mark side is congruent, and then these two angles are congruent. So on this particular shape 3, we have angle, side, angle. Angle, side, angle is how we know that these two triangles are congruent. So on number 3, I'm going to come up here and circle angle, side, angle. You can see also in the table there's a column for can't. Some of these you may not be able to prove that the triangles are congruent using any of these 3 methods. And if that's the case, then you would circle can't. There is actually only one correct choice per triangle pair. So 12 triangles, and there's 12 answer blanks there. So that will finish the puzzle. When you're done with this puzzle, actually when you're done with all 3 of them, then you can go do the quiz where there's 3 questions on the quiz, 1 for each answer on these puzzle pages. All right, have fun. Have a good day.